This is what is this? The Inflexible, a World War I era battleship or cruiser, battle cruiser, that an artist named Jordan Spillman, I don't know if he drew that particular one, but he drew a couple of battleships recently on his Instagram page, and they're just amazing. I love everything he draws, every goddamn thing he draws, and I thought I will do my best to draw the boat in sort of my way, using 4 different pens. In each pen, as I've told you many times before, each pen will sort of tell me how it wants me to draw it. It takes control over me. For interest's sake, I'm going to add the razzle-dazzle painting on the ship that was supposed to help disguise the movement of the boat. It wasn't supposed to make the boat invisible, because it's hard to make a battleship go away, but it was supposed to confuse the view of the U-boat captain through his periscope as to the direction and speed of a particular boat. And also in a convoy sort of situation where there were more than one boat and they overlapped each other, then it got really confusing. I was once, and so I'm going to draw, this section will be with the Schaefer, this will be the Waterman, this will be the Skyline, and this will be a pen that I don't know who made, and it's Anon. So the first pen is this Schaefer, and it's very fine, and it has just slight flexibility to it, but it's, you'll see what it's like. I'm drawing an anchor here, trying to figure out what it looks like, and because eventually this gray paint job on the boat will be changed to the razzle-dazzle painting. It has these big geometric patterns on it, and so I'm pressing down to get a little bit of variation. It's sort of like a Harlequin pattern, and I don't really have a lot of room in my Schaefer quadrant for what I'm doing here. Draw a little happy sailor, Jack Tar. There. Oh, flag. Oh, what does the British Navy flag look like? I think it looks like that. It has just in the upper corner, the canton is the British flag, and then the rest is white with the red stripes, I think. I once was walking to dinner, and this woman that was in the restaurant before me, was she in the restaurant, or was I walking to the restaurant? I can't remember. I think she was in the restaurant. She was sort of leaving as I was coming in, and I said to her, I looked at her, and I said, "Pardon me, ma'am, but you remind me of a World War I era battleship." And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. What the heck is wrong with her? So as you can see, the line work there is slightly varied, though you barely can see it. I'll add some thicker lines here. And the lines get thick by pressure. I apply more pressure. Anyway, she looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I explained to her, and I quickly got out my phone and found a picture of the razzle-dazzle painting, and I said, "See, your dress looks like this. It would be very hard to sink you with a torpedo." I think she went over to talk to the manager about me. The Waterman 3V here is a very different nib, and it will, I'll try to show advantage of that. So here's this line of gray, it comes over here, I'll make these lines here, and then you've got the torpedo net holder uppers. And first I'll just do the water so you have a sense there. So much, much more flexible nib. Its fines are not as fine. Don't tell me I didn't put ink in this thing before it's... So I'm able to, get the same degree of darkness, but I don't need to draw as many lines as I did with the Schaefer. I just have to press down a little further. So, and then, here I can map out huge areas of shadow. Do a little razzle-dazzle on that thing. I should have actually had a picture of razzle-dazzle because my razzle-dazzling is... No, I'm drawing razzle-dazzle here. I'm not drawing plants. God, pay attention to what you're doing. It's supposed to be a curve, not a wave. The thing about these World War I era boats that I also like, I love the names that they were called. The Indefatigable. Like how difficult is that? I'm sure that, the Navy Admiralty was pissed off when they had to try to say that really quick in radio dispatches and directions to the helm. Steer toward the it's this dumb name. Indefatigable. It will never tire is what the name means, but it's just so dumb. The inflexible, the indomitable was another one. It will not be dominated. Why don't you just call it the goddamn top? The HMS Top. The HMS Sloppy Bottom. Anyway, the line work here, you see, is much more dynamic. So I'm going to call this boat is the inconsequential. No, the tiresome, not the indefatigable. So it has to have an in front of it. The irreproachable, the irredeemable. This is the irredeemable class of boats. Okay, so this is a very prickly... This pen might be a better one for calligraphy than for drawing. There's a little tiny bit of prickliness to it that makes it less easy to drive in certain directions. It's good for pulling down this way, but if I'm drawing that way, pushing that way, it's less good. It wants to make noises. And the Skyline pen, actually I'm going to use this is a different nib, a different kind of Skyline, but it's essentially a Skyline. This is a symphony pen. This is a big moppy nib. It starts out loud and it just gets louder. So to get a really fine line, it's almost impossible. So right here in the middle of the thing, it'll be dark. I'll turn the pen upside down to sort of get the range that I want to get here with the razzle-dazzle painting. I'm going to go across the lines here I'm making just to have it look like a full drawing without gaps. So this pen I would use for drawing, maybe I'd use this for drawing trees, not battleships of the World War I. The other thing about singing the praises again of the artist who is inspiring me to make this video and to draw this boat is Jordan Spillman. He's from England, lives in New York, from what I understand, by his information I can find online about him. He, his drawings are it's a beautiful balance between loose and tight. And I don't have the ability to do that. I wish I did. My drawings are either loose or my drawings are either diarrheic or constipated, it seems. I don't have the ability to retain a nice, free, free-looking drawing without getting kind of a little bit more calligraphic or sloppy. I wish I could do that, and wish I could sell. Oops, I'm going into the Anonymous's territory here. Actually, the Anonymous pen is going to be kind of like this one. So the original Skyline I was going to show you is a little bit like that one. So I should have picked pens that were more diverse. Oh, let's throw some flags on this one. No, I'll save that for that. I'll add the signal flags that will say turn left, turn to starboard, indefatigable. And that'll, of course, indefatigable will, take up 3 strings of flags. Stupid name. Turn left, you top, you ram the sloppy bottom. Okay, so that's this one. So you can see the wetness of the ink is still there. It puts down quite a puddle. Okay, finally the Anon. The pen is called the Anon. I don't know if you can see that. Anon and Company. I don't know if that's the name of the pen company or if that's the name. They're from Cincinnati, Ohio, I think. No. Columbus, Ohio. And it was owned by someone named Oscar Knorr. Now, Oscar Knorr sounds like he's a German spy. So he's drawing a picture here of the, what did I call my boat? The irredeemable. He's drawing a picture of the irredeemable here to send to his German Admiralty High Command, the Imperial Fleet, Das Kapitan der Admiral Tirpitz. He's sending this drawing to Admiral Tirpitz to show which boat this is, because he can't quite tell by looking at it through these binoculars. And he's using the pen that his Oscar Knorr is not his real name. His real name is something else, but he's pretending to be a Norwegian fish salesman in England. He's up at Scapa Flow, Scotland, I guess, drawing a picture of this boat, the Irredeemable. And so here's the flags that it's flying on its string. you know, this pen is barely able to make a line that isn't a moppy line. You can turn it upside down and barely touch the paper, but this one wants to just be really loud and boisterous. So the smoke belching out of the final funnel here is going to be drawn with this one. This is the only boiler that's working, or the only funnel that's working. The other ones are sort of, they've turned them off. The other thing about World War I era British boats, and you know, they sort of, this one had two large funnels at the bow, toward the bow, and then one sort of skinnier one behind, like they were built without thinking. Oh God, we have to add some more boilers. Okay, just add them. So here's the boat drawn in 3 different pens, and here you are looking through it with the, well, let me just show you without the drama. So 3 different pens, the Schaefer, the Waterman, the Eversharp Skyline, and the Anon. And so there you go. You know, so this pen made me want to draw the sloppiest. Oh, I have to write the name of the boat here. What did I call it? The irredeemable. How do I spell irredeemable? I-R. There's probably another R, isn't there? I-R-R. Does that make any sense to you? I-R. R. Redeem. R-E. D. E. Oh, I'm going to the edge here. E. Let's go to the. Come on. This is the one I didn't fill this because I was going to use the Skyline, not the Symphony pen. E. E. M. Oh, see, look at me, what I'm doing. Look what you made me do. I got my hand in the smoke. Deemable. A. B. L. I don't even know. I'm doing too many things at once, including getting ink everywhere. Well, now I have to turn these blotches into something. Here's some of the heavier smoke that's falling. Anon. And so look at Jordan Spillman's art on Instagram, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's beautifully drawn. The subjects that he draws are not always dramatic battleships and things like that. He did some really nice drawings of astronauts and in their tinfoil suits, and but the drawings he does of real places, the basement storeroom studios, the pile of boxes, the I don't know if he's actually drawn a dumpster, but I bet he would do a really good job of drawing dumpsters in alleyways, because he's able to capture the masses of the objects he's drawing, and just beautiful rendering style. So there we go, the irredeemable. Pretend you're a submarine commander and you're trying to figure out how to fire your torpedoes, and this abstract painting is going past you and a huge thumb, you wouldn't know when to shoot it, when to torpedo-los it. You wouldn't know what to do. Anyway, thank you for watching.